Okay, gentlemen, you were given specific instructions. Obey my commands at all times. Protect yourself all the time. First of all, good luck.
Because of his inexperience, because of the newness of this for him, a huge part of his focus was the mentality of round one. One day, he sparred round one 12 times, just to get himself familiar with the way he wanted to think and move in this first round against Manny Pacquiao.
The important thing for Chris right now is to figure out and deal with the speed and the angles that...
Here is what happened in the first round against Provodnikov, which was a disaster, but a disaster from which he built a fire. Good right hook by Pacquiao. Momentarily wobbled Algiere.
I think it was more off balance, Jim. I don't think that really wobbled him.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
Algiere's scientific approach to the fight game can be seen in what he said about how he negates or plans to negate Pacquiao's speed. He said speed is time over distance, and I'm going to use my length to fight at a greater distance and thereby reduce his speed.
Already, Algiere knows that Pacquiao can deal with his speed more effectively than Ruslan Provodnikov can. Pacquiao has cut off the ring twice on him and landed shots both times. Algiere almost got trapped in a corner.
His big shots to land his own. And we'll have to see if Chris Algiere can muster enough in his big shot to cause Pacquiao any problem.
Well, Algiere's critics would say there's no such thing as a big shot.
Very few fleet-footed boxers without much punching power, with low knockout percentages, have beaten, upended, come out of nowhere to beat a guy like Pacquiao, a once dominant knockout artist. Fewer than many boxing fans realize.
The evidence of round one so far suggests that Manny Pacquiao can find Chris Algiere, and that he... But never underestimate the resourcefulness of Algiere, who surely will be thinking of trying to find a way to deal with that. Body shot by Pacquiao.
And good straight right lead by Chris Algiere. Chris Algiere, as you see, not noted for his punching power, landed a beautiful straight right lead right here as Pacquiao was coming in. Right down the pipe. Just to give a little respect to that, Pacquiao knows that you have to be careful.
At ringside, round two begins. Pacquiao was 11 of 39 by CompuBox count in the first round. Algiere was only 3 of 28. One of the three, that right hand shot that we showed you in the replay.
What Algiere showed with that right hand is he's not a big puncher, but he's himself.
Good shot by Algiere.
Good left hook by Algiere. And
Pacquiao chases and tries to retaliate.
Yeah.
Algiere beginning to work his jab. That was what was missing in round one. Pacquiao begins to counter. Manny Pacquiao looks very fast in the first couple of rounds.
Not only is he very fast, but he also is very focused.
And down goes Algiere on a straight left-hand shot. He's going to say it was a slip, but Gina Rodriguez is going to call it a knockdown.
I agree with Algiere.
That definitely was a slip, and it's one of the
big difference, though. He was badly hurt against Provodnikov, and here he was hit as his foot was slipping in the corner.
Lucky break for Pacquiao, but it counts as a knockdown. Algiere's moving, but not sticking enough.
Yeah, but he's very comfortable, Jim. He's not.
Big difference between this and the Provodnikov fight. It's so much harder for him to land shots against Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao's way faster.
Yeah, but Pacquiao hasn't really honestly hit him with a good clean punch yet until right there.
Pacquiao's getting closer and closer to landing something really big and hard. Or so it feels.
That was his first really clean punch right there.
I look at most of what Pacquiao wants to do. It's not easy.
Algiere just missing with the right hand. You've already pointed out, Roy Jones, that Algiere's left eye is beginning to show a little bit of damage. They have brought professional cut man Jacob Stitch Duran with them for this fight. Big addition to this.
Here we see Algiere, Manny on the attack. Algiere moving back. And how you know he wasn't hurt? He blocked all his punches. He's fine right there until it touches that big water spot. Not only one foot, both feet slid out from under him. If both feet slid out from under him and he's very conscious, as he knew not to let Manny hit him, it was a slip.
Clearly a slip, but it was called a knockdown by referee Gino Rodriguez.
Algiere's corner, 2 more like that. So it's clear they don't want to give Pacquiao any big opportunities early. Algiere can have and has fought in the past at a very high punch output. So the threat of Pacquiao is negating Algiere's offense, but that may be by Camp Algiere's design.
That is by their design. Like I said, he has to get into the fight and get comfortable. He's not the experienced fighter here. He's the guy with the least experience. So he can't come out of this, but you're still fighting Manny Pacquiao. And if you go in there within the first 4 rounds and get caught with something that you're not ready for, the fight could end.
Meantime, Pacquiao has failed to create an action if Algiere didn't want to punch, which is what he said he'd do. Algiere is tough to create an action against. He's tall, he's rangy, he has good defense.
Wonderful.
The term is negative split. It applies to track and field and swimming, where people are able to build rhythm and do better in the second half of the race than the first half of the race. Algiere in several fights threw more punches in the second half of the fight than in the first half of the fight, as he builds rhythm.
And that's his plan right here now. He's landed some really 2 good left hooks against Pacquiao already, and he's really starting to try to test Pacquiao and see can he put his gloves on him in a hard way.
Against Algiere. The danger, if you can't cut off the ring, is that you get into chasing him, the way Provodnikov did. If you begin chasing Algiere, he's got you to a certain degree.
And you see the footwork slowed Manny down some, and that way Chris Algiere was able to land a good straight right lead just then.
Algiere's obviously now the trick for him is going to be, as he's starting to box more effectively offensively in this round, if and when he has increasing offensive success.
Pacquiao landed a jab moments ago. Now gets in a body shot. Going to the body might be a good idea. Algiere blocking the right hand upstairs, keeping his left glove pinned to his cheek. Algiere's round as he's focusing on defense and trying to disrupt Pacquiao's rhythm. Hard right hand by Manny Pacquiao up.
This fight.
And yet it was thrown to land, not thrown with real knock.
Here you see Pacquiao coming in with the left to the body, followed by the right hook over the top to the head. Best right hook I think he's landed all night.
First 3.
Okay, so you make it a 3-0, 30-26 Manny Pacquiao. He gets an extra point for that knockdown in round 2. Whether it was a slip or a knockdown, Gino Rodriguez called it a knockdown. He gets an extra point. So that becomes a 10-8 round. Jim, I don't know. I honestly believe that Chris Algiere should move his hands a little more. Throw some more punches. There you go. When he throws punches, it seems to me he's got a chance. I'd love to see Chris get more offensive. But anyway, 3-0, Manny Pacquiao.
I think the plan is for that to happen next round, according to what they're telling him in the corner.
Yeah, saying to Algiere, you see what's happening? You see what's happening? What would you speculate that he's referring to, Roy?
Well, he's trying to figure him out, make him punch while he's moving, let some of the power and some of the steam blow off. If he stops and throws his hands more right now, like Harold suggests, he'll be sitting on the canvas pretty shortly. He's not ready for that yet. Let Pacquiao blow steam off. You're the least experienced of the 2 guys. Wait till the strong punching power is gone. Let him get into the fight a little bit. Then maybe we have a better chance of catching him. But you see right there,
hand uppercut by Pacquiao.
you see right there, he's not the fighter to kill Pacquiao.
And Pacquiao is so physically gifted, athletically. But I think also, and you heard him say in the corner at one point, you see him reaching.
Body shots.
So as the rounds go on, they're hoping that Algiere's defense and length will have Pacquiao.
To me, that Manny Pacquiao wanted to focus on body shots this round, and he has done damage with body shots to Algiere here.
Well, he's focusing on big shots, Jerry. He's trying to get Algiere out of here. To get him out of here, you got to land big shots. And the way to start that is with the body shots. But you see Algiere is still in big shots himself. He
Got
just
a right
stole
hand
another
lead in.
good right hand right there.
Vaccine, yeah. He may get along with him. I don't want him to.
Everyone gets along with Manny Pacquiao.
How could
Impossible
you not?
not to. Exactly right. As Roy and I talk over, hard left hand by Pacquiao. Algiere has taken some punishment in this round.
He see Pacquiao throw an overhand left followed by a beautiful right uppercut because Chris has his arms out over his shoulders, not having his hands up. Unfortunately for Pacquiao, he landed in the throat. not on the chin. Then Pacquiao lands that beautiful straight left lead, catching Chris Algiere going straight back and lands that straight left right down.
Who has thrown as many as 82 jabs in a single round. And there's a right cross, perfect on the chin of Manny Pacquiao. Didn't move Manny at all.
Didn't move Manny, but that was a beautiful right hand, one that Manny does not want to continue to walk into.
30 seconds of this round belong to Algiere with the jab and the right hand.
And the crowd's oohing and ahhing, but Pacquiao's not landing.
No, he's not.
Very discouraging for Algiere, as if having followed his game plan more or less so far, if this is the round he's supposed to take it over the second half of the round, he starts to find success.
And is able to counter with big shots like that.
A pivotal round in the fight.
Another couple of right hands land for Algiere. They're not big, but he's getting his leather onto Pacquiao's chin with that right hand.
And he's not concerned in landing nothing big because he only has a few knockouts anyway. Great body shot. His job is to just put punches on Pacquiao like that.
And a straight right hand and a left hook.
That's their game plan. Just hit Pacquiao as often as they can. Hopefully they'll wear him down without Chris getting caught with a big shot.
And is throwing the jab with frequency, which is the name of the game for him. Algiere's footwork keeping him safe there against Pacquiao's big shots.
Superb footwork, and you notice that he's going to the body a lot. And I can guarantee you now, looking at Chris Algiere, his plan is as follows. Keep hitting Pacquiao with the straight right to the body, try to knock him out.
Meantime, Pacquiao looks determined, and maybe this was Team Algiere's plan, but Pacquiao, when he gets boxed and hit, looks determined to start walking Algiere down, but as a result, sometimes just walks forward.
Here we see Algiere doing, like I said earlier, landing that straight right hand down the pipe, right off of Manny's jab. Bam, as Manny's coming in. Not a killer punch, but you saw it stop Manny's left hand from coming out, which saves Chris.
Begins in what became something of a different fight in round 5. Harold Letterman still scored the round for Manny Pacquiao. I don't think it was necessarily an easy round to score. Wouldn't surprise me if a judge had Chris Algiere winning that round. Obviously, Max Kellerman thought that Algiere won the round, right, Max?
I did, yeah. But many judges won't give you the round if you're the guy moving away and the other guy's active with his hands. I just didn't see Pacquiao land clean shots, and I saw Algiere land some clean shots.
Manny got in a left hand to the side of Algiere's face there. Algiere goes back to pumping the jab. He was reluctant to throw the jab. Found Manny Pacquiao throwing 100 more punches than Chris Algiere. The profile coming in was that Pacquiao was not the volume puncher, Algiere was. But Pacquiao's power changed that equation early on.
And what makes Pacquiao deadly is that he is actually a volume puncher. He's just a volume power puncher. So that makes him more dangerous than normal guys are. That's the biggest thing about him, is that he throws volume punches, and he's a big-time volume power puncher.
Didn't look low to me, but...
And the belt line is above the navel. Therefore, that should be a legal shot.
Hard left hand by Pacquiao stuns Algiere. And that's going to be the second knockdown of the fight. Algiere's going to say he threw me down, he didn't knock me down, but the bottom line is it counts as a knockdown. And let's see if Algiere's still hurt.
Algiere nodded his head like, yeah, you got me.
Yeah, he hit him first, and he bumped him, but he did hit him first, so that is a legitimate knockdown, I think.
Me too.
Extended right hand by Algiere momentarily, backs Pacquiao, but he keeps coming. Fires away with the left hand. Algiere goes down for the second time. Third time in the fight. And once again, there's water in that corner, and his foot slipped out from under him, and he can't get Rodriguez to listen to him on that point.
No, he should stay out of that corner.
Yup, stay out of that corner.
No question the water was at least partially a factor in that knockdown, but Manny's knocked him down twice in this round. Pacquiao power showing up big time here in round 6. 2 knockdowns of Algiere in this round. 3 official knockdowns now.
The first knockdown, that left hand did hurt Chris Algiere. Pacquiao went on the attack, but that did hurt. Another left hand, he really was pushed down at this point. He's off balance, but the punches did land first to hurt him, and that's why I would give him legitimate credit for that knockdown. That was a knockdown. This second knockdown, he's just moving away in the corner. He got caught with a jab, but he threw a hook of his own. But as you saw, as he was trying to hook, his foot was sliding out from under him again. That one was questionable, but because of the jab landing to the face, you can understand the ref saying, okay.
I'll give Pacquiao 1.5 real.
Now Chris Algiere may be in a compromising situation. Because of the knockdowns, now he has to change his style and either try to start winning the fight earlier or start trying to go for the knockout because of those knockdowns being 1.5, as Max and I agree.
Now with the smell of a knockout in the air, it's commentary dangerous to take a break for the score, but we're going to do it. Harold, how do you have it so far?
I want to tell you, these guys kill me. 1.5 knockdowns? Give me a break. Anyway, I got it 6-0, 60-51, Manny Pacquiao. He gets an extra point for each of those knockdowns. So round 6 becomes a 10-7 round. I mean, he's got a whopping 9-point lead. Chris is, I tell you, I think he's just got to slow down a little and stand there and bang with Manny a little, because he's been boxing, he's been moving. I don't think he's won a round because he hasn't hit Manny hard enough. I think he's got to change his game plan and stand there and use his quick hands. 6-0, Manny Pacquiao.
That's why low knockout for Pacquiao, because they're one-dimensional. Even if they're multi-dimensional within that dimension, they're boxing dimension. What do they do if they fall way behind on the cards?
When Max refers to low knockout percentage, Algiere had only 8 KOs in 20 fights coming in. By the current standard of the sport, that is a way low knockout percentage. He's just not that kind of fighter.
Back in that corner again, they put up for it.
Algiere seemed to realize he was backing toward the
He
wet.
can sting him with a shot. He can snap his head back and make him take a backward step or a half step back. But Manny obviously doesn't feel like he's in danger of being hurt by the shot.
It's the difference between punching at the target and punching powerfully through the target, the way Pacquiao does.
There's a good hard body shot.
He's landed.
Letterman has given every round to Manny Pacquiao.
When your strategy is to essentially give away the first 4 rounds, and you're not a big puncher, you have to be perfect the rest of the way. And that obviously hasn't happened for Algiere.
If that was really the plan, it has me thinking, what were they thinking? Seriously, give away the first 4 rounds against the guy who has knockout power when you don't?
Well, I'm sure in their minds it wasn't give it away. It was box a little differently and a little more patiently and cautiously. But how is he expecting to win those rounds against a high-volume power puncher?
As a fighter, anytime you have seen a guy get knocked out before, you think in 8-ounce gloves, there's always a chance, even though you're not a puncher, that you can either catch him coming in, run him into a big enough shot, and possibly get lucky and get a knockout. That's just the consensus of a real pro fighter. So Chris Algiere felt like he's been out before. Maybe I can give him 4 rounds, set him up so I can put these 8-ounce on him, and it's possible I can knock him out. But if I try to come out and box him early or try to knock him out early, he may knock me out.
I think it's a bad plan. And they seem to have dispensed with that too early. Hard left hand by Pacquiao. Quick left hook by Algiere. Manny Pacquiao countering 1, 2, 3.
I know against the southpaw sometimes you can throw that lead right almost like a jab, but it's Algiere's best punch is that good long jab, and he just has shelved it for way too much of this fight.
Exceptional.
His ability to get from one side to another and create punching angles. Dionisia Pacquiao during the last round doing a little shadow boxing, a little praying, some history on. This round, Algiere up on his toes and trying to work his jab. Gets hit by another big shot from Pacquiao. Algiere lands his right across the top. Let's go to the corner of Chris Algiere, where Max Kellerman is ready to talk to Tim Lane about the game plan and what's happening now. Max?
Tim, we're talking a lot about the game plan in the corner. We heard you after 2 rounds tell him 2 more of those. And then what was the game plan coming in?
Well, I'm going to let him loose in another round or so.
Round 10?
Round 10 or 11, I'm going to let him go.
Well, that's going to make it difficult for the plan to materialize, because there's a question now as to whether Algiere will be able to survive that shot, which was a monster left hand, a sensational straight left cross by Manny Pacquiao that put Algiere on his back. And let's see what Algiere has left.
He doesn't have much left, Jim, and that hurts more because he's already
Takes the knee. That's an Algiere method. Take the knee to try to clear his head. So these are knockdowns number 4 and 5. 5 and 6.
Come here, Chris. Okay, Chris. Okay? All right, let's go. Back.
6 knockdowns in the fight so far for Pacquiao.
Algiere better hold or the fight's over. There he is.
Held for a little while. Couldn't hold on long enough.
It's Pacquiao who's out of his cage.
Yeah.
He's still fighting, though.
Algiere showing guts.
Big guts.
Pacquiao in control.
Big guts. Soon let Pacquiao finish him at least, because if he doesn't, he jumps in too soon, he'll ruin a good fight. He sees a beautiful straight left hand by Manny Pacquiao, right down the pipe off of Chris Algiere's jab, and down Chris Algiere goes. That was a beautiful straight left hand. Couldn't ask for better. Chris tried to time it with the hook, and the left hand landed right on the chin before Chris's hook could get there. Here you see Pacquiao putting the pressure on Algiere, knowing he's in trouble. Gets caught with 2 punches.
Pacquiao. Jim, I sort of disagree with the 6 knockdowns. I think he only scored 5.
That's right. I miscounted. You're exactly right.
But Manny Pacquiao
6 may be
on
on
the
the way.
offensive right here. 9-0 Pacquiao so far.
And meantime, a knockout win for Pacquiao would be a big deal here, not only because he hasn't scored 1 in 8 fights, but because Algiere, as Ruslan Pravandikov, a knockout artist, can tell you, is
more defensively oriented counterpuncher. Not everybody thought that. On the other hand, Freddie Roach didn't think that Pacquiao would have to go to the 10th round to do it, but it's been entertaining to watch the build-up.
And on the other hand, here Algiere still is.
Like I said earlier, it's crazy, and I know it's ironic and crazy, but I knew that his team was planning to try to knock Pacquiao out.
You turned out to be 100% correct, and my mind is blown.
But I told you, as a boxer, and from a boxer standpoint, that's the only chance he saw. He has less experience than Pacquiao. You don't outpoint Pacquiao, so his only gamble was to try to knock him out.
Learn something new every day.
And what has happened here, in a sense, is kind of like what Max says. The separation in class is starting to show up.
Yeah, class tells over time.
Well, some would say it showed up in round 2.
And by the way, what does that say about Pacquiao, where class has told over time against Tim Bradley, now against Algiere?
Harold, there's the 6th knockdown. I got you.
5, 6, 7, 8. Come on forward. You all right, Christian? Yeah.
On the neck of Algiere, followed by a beautiful right hook, which I think the right hook did more damage. Then he kind of caught him with a forearm, but Algiere was already headed down. Legs are tired. Fatigue is showing up. Not so much as devastating from the 1 punches, but devastation from the fact of that punch and fatigue with it. That right hook was a great shot. Hit high like that.
Hung him in the corner. You can get after he wants to.
It's like turning a wolf out of the cage in the bear pen.
Exactly.
As bettors here got in their money on Pacquiao.
Smart money.
Smart Pacquiao. He has fought a perfect fight.
looking, we probably would have had to separate him.
Wow.
That's how focused Manny is.
Well, Freddie Roach has said that he wants Pacquiao back down at 140 pounds, where your fighter Jesse Vargas fights, by May of 2015. And forever thereafter. In Roach's mind, the days of fighting as a welterweight are over after this. This, of course, assumes that there's never to be a Floyd Mayweather fight. If that were to somehow materialize, then the going back to 140 falls by the wayside.
I mean, if guys like Bradley and Algiere can't compete with you, then the only boxer, pure boxer who
it was going to be Pacquiao's power was largely back.
Looks that way to me.
Good uppercut by Pacquiao and a hard right hand by Algiere. Pacquiao took Algiere's hard right hand in such a way as to once again suggest that the knockout strategy was a faint wish. There's another hard right hand by Algiere. Pacquiao's a little bit more open in this round as he drops his hands and tries for a knockout. Now Pacquiao's got his guard back up and comes out of it looking to land again. Algiere moving and moving.
Effective as Algiere's movement. So when Algiere goes to attack Pacquiao, Pacquiao makes the same moves or same type of moves that Algiere makes when Pacquiao attacks him. So it makes it just as difficult for him to hit Pacquiao as it is for Pacquiao to hit him.
The distance between this and fighting somebody like Ruslan Provodnikov is about the same as the distance walking from here to Siberia. It's a long, long way. "30 seconds to go. Probably won't mean much after this. A lot of power, a lot of Pacquiao. Was at least as much a factor as the punches that Pacquiao landed. Then round 4, Pacquiao lands. And still in round 6, knockdown number 3 and another knockdown on which the water in Pacquiao's corner was at least a partial factor, as Algiere tried to point out to referee Gennaro Rodriguez. Round 9, no question about that. That is a classic I hit you in the mouth knockdown. Still in round 9. And Algiere, still damaged from the preceding knockdown, took a knee there. So that was 5 knockdowns at that point. And then the final knockdown came in the 10th round.
Hackman, Pacquiao!